Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about 5 things that I would change about my 2018 Jaguar F-Pace. So I've had the car 3 years, covered the shade over 40,000 miles in it, and it's been a good car. It's comfortable, dare I say it, it's been pretty reliable, but there are just those little things that I think if they were changed would make it a truly perfect car. If you're not already, please think about giving a like and subscribe, and stay tuned. Point number 1 of what I find frustrating on a petty level in this car are the window switches and the door lock button. They are entirely the wrong way round. I've never at all in any car before seen where the window switches aren't here but instead up here. It's bizarre, it confuses me still today. You know, I automatically reach for the wrong place when I want to go for one or the other. I just don't understand it. I don't know why they're up there. It's the same on the other side as well. They managed to get it right in the back of the car. They're in the correct place, but for some reason the front of the car, they're up here. I don't know why. Point number 2 on the list is the doors. I don't know why, but for some reason the weather strip on these doors is just in totally the wrong place, and it lets all the dirt accumulate in the door shuts. When you're getting in and out of the car, your trouser legs get covered in filth if you're not careful. I don't know why the weather strip wasn't just moved a bit further down the car so that you didn't get a big build up of, especially in winter, you know, a big build up of rubbish here. Strange. It's the same for the back doors. It's like this weather strip here almost wanted to come out to the outside of the door. Your passengers, when they're getting out of the car, you know, they're not familiar with the car. They might not own one of these. If they drag their leg down that, they're getting filthy. You know, their trousers are going to need a wash. It's strange. I don't know why it's even a thing, why we're even talking about it, but it just bothers me. The third point that I want to talk about is the gloss black plastic they use both in the interior and on the exterior of the car. It looks beautiful. It's a real deep gloss piano black type effect. It's a plastic that scratches if you look at it too quickly. It's a real pain to try and keep clean. I have polished this with a cutting compound a few times to get some minor scratches out of it. It looks amazing, but it is just such a pain for upkeep, to keep looking fresh and to look after. You know, if you're throwing your keys in the centre here, there's a few nicks in here. You know, we are very careful with this car. We try to take pride in our things, but inevitably the nicks appear in places. The same goes for the pillar trims. Let's have a look at those. So the pillar trims and the door surrounds are all the same type of black plastic. I don't know if we're going to pick it up on the camera here, but they swirl up really easily when you're washing, and they just really easily scratch up. It's the same as the interior plastic. It's not a huge point, you know, as with anything, through time it will deteriorate. It's just part of life, but it's just a little bit frustrating. You know, could it have been a bit of a harder wearing material? I don't know. The fourth point that I find just a really small frustrating thing, but still, you know, would have been a nice design revision, is the heated seats. A first world problem, I know. To adjust the seats, you can either go and use this button here, or you've got a button on the screen here, and that's how you operate your seats. You can change the temperature down. They're not cooled, they're just heated, but you can only do that via the screen. If you use the button down here, it just throws it up onto the screen. And it's just a small but silly thing where it would be nice if you had the adjustment as buttons, physical buttons here, and it means you don't have to detract from if you're navigating on the screen, or it's just less clicks and less things that you've got to focus on when you're driving. I feel would make it a safer and easier experience. A small problem, but hopefully a design revision in the new shape. And point number 5, the final point on the list, is the Apple CarPlay and the way it doesn't transpire over to the screen here. You can really tell I'm scraping the barrel with things that are wrong with this car, because I do love it. It's a fantastic car. It's a lovely place to be. You can get a full LCD screen pack. It's entirely like that center display is digital, the entire thing's digital, and when you're using the built-in factory navigation, it throws it all up onto the screen as a whole map under there. But if you're using Apple CarPlay, it won't throw it onto the dial cluster, which is the reason why we didn't spec that into this car, because we drive everywhere on Google Maps. We love it for the traffic, and that not transpiring over to here doesn't really do anything for me that these physical dials don't. So if that comes out in a software revision, I don't know if it's a restriction that Apple put in place or Android put in place, or if it's a limitation of the manufacturer, Jaguar. But if that was to change in the future, I would definitely consider either upgrading these dials to digital, or in the next car getting the digital dial cluster. So there we have it, 5 things that I would change about the Jaguar F-Pace. I think it's pretty evident by the fact I was scraping the barrel on things that could be improved upon. I do love this car, very fortunate to have this. It's very comfortable, it's a nice place to be. I do travel a lot for work. As I said in my previous video, if you haven't checked it out already, take a look at my video where I discuss the cost of ownership of this car. But it is a good place to be, it has been reliable, and they're just small tweaks that I think would really make this car absolutely perfect. I'm going to do a video soon on the facelift version of this, so keep your eyes peeled for that. If you're not already, please give a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.